Enter Bollywood. Sab milega. ZoomTV.in.
If you have to make a move on a woman, you like her
I'm married,
squeaky,
man.
clean?
I'm married.
No, on screen maybe.
On screen.
Like, you like these hot bad women, or you like these sweet ice maiden?
Well, that's a tricky question. I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it has to have a bit of both. There's of course the character, the way Shoaib woos Mumtaz in Once Upon a Time, which has its own charm. And then there's the crook. There's this guy, Jay, who woos Nicole, who's a stripper. So each one has its pros and cons, I think. I don't think you can rule out one and say this is good and this is bad.
Tell me a little more about Crook.
Well, it deals with this man. His philosophy in life is good guys finish last. He feels that if you're devious, street smart, the road to success is that much shorter. You'll achieve success faster. If you are good, if you do everything by the book, that road to success is that much longer for you. He pirates films. He deals in piracy in Mumbai, and from there he goes to Australia, and he's to start a new life, start afresh. And how he sees the slow brewing issue of racism there, how a select group of Indians that he knows has to deal with a select group of Australians that are not very sensitive to our culture. How he doesn't want to mess with these guys in the beginning because he himself is an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
If he gets mixed up with the law, he's deported back to Mumbai and he can't afford to go there because the law is looking for him over there. That's his dilemma. He can't stand up for his countrymen. At the same time, there's an awakening in him, thus far no more, that he has to stand up at one point of time for these guys. In the end, he has to make a choice. Is it good to be bad or is it good to be good?
And Emraan, obviously you've been to a strip joint in real life also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? How was it?
Enlightening.
Yeah?
We shot in one, so we had to obviously go. If we couldn't put up a set, so we had to shoot in the strip joint.
Yeah.
Everything on location. We had to shoot in Australia, and yeah, to get the authenticity, we had to be there and shoot there.
Everything, pole dances.
Everything, the works, man.
You got a lap dance?
So yes, I've got
You
that
got a
in
lap
the film. In the film.
Not in real life.
Yeah, just gonna clear that out. Not in real life.
Tell me, there's another boy called Emraan now in the industry who's doing very well for himself. So how does it feel?
I'm sure there's room for two, and I think he's doing his kind of work. I'm doing my kind of work, and it's great that we're doing two different kind of films and roles, because then the lines would get blurred and it'll get messy.
Yeah.
But he's doing the boy next door. I'm doing the not so nice guy. The bad guy next door.
Also, you dressed like a girl in one of the songs, right?
Yes, I
like
did.
cross-dressing.
That's right.
You
Lots
done
of
that
it,
in real
lots
life,
of it.
have you?
Not just that. No, I never indulged in that in real life. No, and it was kind of weird. It was scary when I actually had to get into the costume.
Feel you lost your identity or something?
When I saw myself in that,
Yeah.
it was like a shocker. I was like, "Who's this?"
You got worried some guy's going to come and kiss you now. Somebody call Emraan.
That's why I got out. That's why I got out of it as soon as I got into it. Said before someone indulges and jumps at me.
The movie deals with issues of racism in Australia.
Yeah.
Did you notice any of that when you shot?
We met people from there.
You did?
Who have already come over here. I mean, who've been covered by the news channels. They didn't want to be shot as the part of the documentary for a film. They didn't want to get into more trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of very, it's sad that these guys went with little money there to study or whatever, to do their odd jobs there. And this thing happened with them. We didn't see anything per se. I think the people there were very sweet, very kind, very welcoming. I think it's very wrong on our part also, the way the media went out and painted the entire nation to be a racist nation.
Right.
A lot of people from our film industry said that we won't shoot there. I think that was a drastic step that we took. Because it's never the nation that's racist. I think there's a handful of people who have a regressive attitude towards other cultures. Why do we look at Australia? Why don't we look at our own country, the history of our own country? We've had problems here. Every country has had problems where you had those people who are not sensitive to other people's race, religion. So it was wrong. And you have those kind of people in Australia also. And that's exactly what we're trying to say in this film.
In India itself, I think there's a reverse racism that happens. I want to marry a fair-skinned girl. You have those kind of ads in the papers. I want to be fair-skinned. Isn't there that a reverse kind of thing? Like people don't want to marry outside their castes.
From where I come, there's probably it's kind of a weird family where probably everyone from every religion is there in our family.
That's great.
My mom has a Christian side, my dad is Muslim. I have Hindus in my family. I've married a Hindu. So it's I kind of nationally integrated family. So I've never thought that way, And nor have my parents or anyone in my family ever dictated the fact that you have to marry a girl from this caste. I respect her for her own upbringing, her beliefs in who she prays to. I don't like to force myself and tell her that you have to change your surname because you married me and you have to now pray to my God or that kind of thing.
It's amazing to be so cosmopolitan.
I think the younger generation is changing slowly. There's an old mindset that still prevails, but I think eventually it will move out.
Emraan, so far you've done like solo hero movies, which have all done well. And then you have Once Upon a Time, which is like shared responsibility. You think it works better?
I don't know about works well or no, but I think whenever I get a script which is great, which has a great character, you don't look at all these things. Doing a comedy for Madhur, which again has me, Ajay, and there's Omi also in the film. So, whatever works for the script, if it's a great story that you're saying, if you have great characters and you get to play a great character, it's fine.
You'd rather be a sinner or a saint?
A bit of both. Bit of both.
What's more? The more exciting part is the sinning part, right?
It's always more exciting, but there's always the flip side of that also. You have to pay for your sins eventually.
You did Jannat, which was on match fixing.
That's right.
And now suddenly it's back in the news.
Yeah, it was extremely relevant at that time. It's even more relevant today. When we made the film, we had inspiration from a lot of events that had taken place from the 80s to 2001. And that was the basis of the film of Jannat. And now we have this entire controversy again spilling up. It's not a new thing. Everyone knows it's not just cricket and it's not just one team. Everyone has been demonized. There have been players who have been taken to the dock. The best of them. If you've heard names before and suddenly, people have pointed fingers. That's part of the sport. But then it kind of is sad for the viewer, for your avid cricket fan. Who kind of sees the game and feels that if this is fixed by some faceless people out there, then am I paying money to watch or see a telecast at home of a match that's already pre-decided? That gets the spirit of the game out of the way. And that's why we're kind of toying with the idea of Jannat 2. It's a different story. It's probably darker. It's probably going to be more controversial than the original Jannat.
It's about no balls. Emraan, you've been very loyal to the, Bhatts. Like you've continuously done stuff for them, and I mean they benefited from you, benefited from them. So you enjoy the relationship with them, right?
Of course, it's a family. It's a family concern. They gave me my first film, and they've given me some great hits. So it's not just I don't just work with them because it's a profitable relationship. That too, and also because it's family. They have stood by me after I've had a couple of debacles. I've had flop films and then they still have instilled that confidence in me and made a film, and then that film has been successful. I had a bad spat before Jannat. I had 4 films that had bombed at the box office. But then Mr. Mahesh Bhatt and Mukesh Bhatt still made Jannat with me. And it did well. So I think it works both ways, and we kind of complement each other and we make great films together.
Long time ago in an interview you said that I don't look up to any actor. Still true?
I don't take any particular actor as my role model. I admire a lot of people. I admire a lot of people from my industry. Like Mr. Dilip Kumar, I've always admired him for his work. He's an inspiration for, I think, a whole generation of actors after that. Don't say that I want to be like this guy and I want my career graph to be that way. That's why I've had the most unconventional start in the industry. I didn't have a takeoff point even though I had a family concern who backed me. I was playing a supporting character in my first film. So, small steps, reluctant to be an actor, and slowly I got easy with it.
Your movie, The Train,
is
about cheating and extramarital affairs. You wouldn't do that in real life?
No, I believe if you are married and you are in a sacred relationship, in that promise, I think that binding promise lies the trust of a relationship, and it crumbles if you go ahead and you do otherwise.
Some lines should never be crossed.
Some lines should never be crossed. Yes.
You're laughing right now, right, Emraan? Because when you were launched, a lot of critics said this guy is not going to make it. Now, a lot of people are eating their words.
Yeah, but I never really gave a damn about what they said. Because I was too arrogant. I'm still too arrogant to think that I have it in me. And people say that, the industry has accepted you now. I said to hell with the industry. I never wanted them to accept me. I wanted my audience to accept me. Tomorrow, if I'm not concentrating on my work, if I'm not doing the kind of films, they may very well chuck me out of my, the position they've given me right now. And touch wood, going is great, and I think I respect that. I respect that. And I've done a couple of films which I regretted, which were just, probably not focused enough. I think right now I want to please my audience. I want to give them a film where they know they've liked me in my earlier film, they're going to come and watch me for the next film. I have to give them their money's worth.
I've asked you this before. You wouldn't want to change your serial kisser image.
I never do films. I don't really plan it out that way. I never have any image in mind. Some people felt that I've broken my image, which was there in their mind. It was never there in my mind. That ek image bana liya tha abhi once upon a time in Mumbai ke saath tod diya. But I don't know, make or break, it doesn't really matter to me. I think eventually it's the film that has to succeed. Say some nice stories, different kind of stories in different films, do different genres. And I just don't want to get repetitive with, Once Upon a Time has done well. I wouldn't want to do probably a gangster flick for some time right now, because it would be the same thing again.
You went shirtless in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Would you go shirtless like John and Neil?
Probably not. Probably not for some time.
Not for some time. I want to develop it first.
It's well developed. But probably a bit shy to do that. I'm probably more comfortable with bearing the torso.
Okay.
Than shedding the trousers is taking it on another level. As of right now, I'm uncomfortable doing that.